Have you ever stopped to think about how something as simple as eating one egg a day could completely change the way you age? I mean, picture this. You're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, and instead of feeling frail, forgetful, or stuck on the couch, you're out there living your life, strong, sharp, and full of energy. What if I told you that doctors and scientists have discovered that just one egg a day could be the key to making that happen? It's not some fancy supplement or expensive diet plan. It's a humble little egg, something you probably already have sitting in your kitchen right now. Here's the deal. Research shows that eating one egg every day can strengthen your muscles, sharpen your mind, protect your heart, and even keep your bones solid as you get older. We're talking about real measurable benefits that could help you stay independent, active, and feeling like yourself for years to come. It's almost hard to believe something so simple could do so much, right? But hold on. There's a catch, and it's a big one. Not all eggs are created equal. Some eggs out there can actually do more harm than good, especially if you're over 60. Make the wrong choice, and you could be putting your health at risk without even realizing it. Everything from food poisoning to heart trouble could sneak up on you. That's why I'm here today. In this video, we're going to unpack the incredible science-backed power of eating one egg a day, stuff that could totally transform how you feel as you age. But just as important, I'm going to reveal 5 types of eggs you should never, ever eat if you want to stay healthy and strong. This isn't just about food, it's about your future. The decisions you make today about what you put on your plate could shape the quality of your life tomorrow, next year, and decades from now. So stick with me until the end. You won't want to miss this. And hey, if you're the kind of person who loves practical, no-nonsense health advice that actually works, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now. That way, you'll never miss an update that could make a difference for you or someone you love. All right, let's dive in and see why one egg a day might just be the easiest health upgrade you've ever tried. So why eggs? Why should you care about this little food that's been around forever? Well, it turns out eggs are like a secret weapon for aging well. They're packed with nutrients your body starts to crave more of as you get older. High-quality protein, essential vitamins, healthy fats, and even some rare compounds you won't find in many other foods. And the best part? You don't need to overhaul your whole diet or spend hours in the kitchen. Just one egg a day, prepared the right way, can deliver benefits that stack up over time. In this video, we're going to cover it all, step by step. First, I'm going to walk you through 4 major health benefits of eating one egg every day, benefits that tackle some of the biggest challenges older adults face. We'll look at how eggs can keep your muscles strong so you can stay active and independent, how they can boost your brain to keep your memory sharp, how they can protect your heart from disease, and how they can fortify your bones to prevent fractures. I'm not just making this up. I'll share the science behind it, straight from top researchers, plus real stories from people I've worked with who've seen these changes in their own lives. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. After we explore the good stuff, I'm going to flip the script and talk about something just as crucial: the 5 types of eggs you need to avoid at all costs. These aren't random warnings. They're based on real risks that could hit you harder as you age, from nasty bacteria to hidden toxins that could derail your health. I'll break down exactly what to watch out for and why it matters so much, especially if you're over 60. Here's what I want you to get out of this. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to make eggs your ally and how to dodge the ones that could turn against you. It's all about giving you the tools to take control of your health, one small choice at a time. So don't click away. Stay with me until the end, because this could be a game changer for you. And if you're loving these kinds of practical, life-improving tips, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Let's build a community of people who want to age better, feel better, and live better together. Before we jump into the benefits, let me ask you this. Have you ever thought about how something as ordinary as an egg could be so powerful? If not, you're about to find out. Let's get started with the first big reason one egg a day could be your new go-to health habit. Fun, stronger muscles, stay active and independent. Let's kick things off with something we all want as we age: the ability to keep moving, keep doing the things we love, and stay independent. Think about it. As you get older, simple tasks like walking up a flight of stairs, carrying a bag of groceries, or even standing up from a chair can start to feel like a workout. That's because our muscles naturally weaken over time. There's a fancy word for it, sarcopenia, and it's a big deal. It's the reason so many older adults end up falling, breaking bones, or losing the freedom to live life on their terms. But here's where eggs come in like a superhero. One egg a day can help slow down that muscle loss and keep you strong. How? Eggs are packed with top-notch protein, about 6 grams per egg to be exact. And it's not just any protein, it's the high-quality kind, loaded with all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. Your muscles are like a house. If you don't give them the right materials, they start to crumble. Eggs are those materials. The science backs this up too. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who eat enough protein-rich foods, especially complete proteins like the ones in eggs, lose muscle mass more slowly than those who don't. They also hang on to their strength longer, which means fewer falls, fewer injuries, and more years of doing what they love. It's not about bulking up like a bodybuilder. It's about keeping your body functional so you can keep living your life. I saw this firsthand with a patient of mine, a 65-year-old guy named Tom. Tom came to me because he was struggling. His back hurt all the time, his legs felt weak, and he couldn't walk more than a few steps without grabbing onto something for support. He thought the answer was to rest more, kick back, take it easy. But that was actually making things worse. His muscles were wasting away from lack of use, and he wasn't giving them the fuel they needed to bounce back. So we made a plan. I told Tom to start eating 1 egg a day. Nothing crazy, just 1 egg, maybe scrambled with his breakfast or boiled as a snack. I paired that with some other protein-rich foods like chicken, fish, and lentils, plus a little light movement to get him going. Within a couple of months, Tom was a different person. His strength started coming back. His back pain eased up because his muscles were supporting his spine better. He even told me he took his grandkids to the park for the first time in years and didn't need to sit down every 5 minutes. That's the power of protein, and eggs are one of the simplest ways to get it. They're affordable, they're versatile, and they don't require you to be a gourmet chef. If you want to stay active, whether it's gardening, playing with your family, or just getting through your day without feeling wiped out, don't sleep on this. 1 egg a day could be the difference between sitting on the sidelines and staying in the game. 2. A sharper mind. Keep your memory strong. Next up, let's talk about your brain. Because as we age, keeping our mind sharp is just as important as keeping our body strong. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you're there? Or maybe you've struggled to recall a name, a date, or where you left your keys. It happens to all of us at some point, but as we get older, those little brain hiccups can start to feel more serious. A sharp mind isn't just about convenience. It's about staying connected to the people and memories that matter most. Here's the good news. Eggs are one of the best foods you can eat to keep your brain firing on all cylinders. They're rich in a nutrient called choline, which is like rocket fuel for your brain. Choline helps your body produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that's crucial for memory, learning, and overall cognitive function. Studies from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health have shown that getting enough choline can lower your risk of cognitive decline and even help protect against dementia. That's a big deal when you think about how much we rely on our brains every single day. But that's not all. Eggs also bring omega-3 fatty acids to the table, which fight inflammation in your brain and help shield it from conditions like Alzheimer's disease. Inflammation is like rust on a car. If you let it build up, things start to break down. Omega-3s keep that rust at bay, giving your brain a fighting chance to stay healthy as you age. I'll never forget a 77-year-old patient of mine named Margaret. She came to me worried sick about her memory. She was forgetting to take her medications, missing appointments, and even struggling to recognize close family members at times. It was heartbreaking. She felt like she was losing herself, and her kids were scared too. We started small. I suggested she add 1 egg a day to her breakfast, maybe scrambled or poached, alongside some other brain-boosting foods like walnuts and salmon. It didn't happen overnight, but over a few months, Margaret's family started noticing a change. She wasn't forgetting as much. She'd remember where she put her glasses or what time her doctor's appointment was. One day, her daughter called me in tears, saying Margaret had told her a story from 20 years ago with details she hadn't recalled in ages. It wasn't a cure, but it gave her back a piece of her life and her family back a piece of her. The takeaway here, if you want to keep your mind sharp, your memory strong, and your brain healthy as you age, eggs are a no-brainer, pun intended. One egg a day could be the simplest way to give your brain the support it needs. 3. A healthier heart. The truth about cholesterol. Now let's move on to your heart because for years, eggs got a bad rap when it comes to heart health, and it's time to set the record straight. Back in the day, people thought eggs were a one-way ticket to heart trouble because of their cholesterol content. The idea was that eating eggs would clog your arteries, raise your cholesterol levels, and put you at risk for heart attacks or strokes. So folks avoided them like the plague, especially older adults who were already worried about their tickers. But here's the truth. Modern research has turned that old myth upside down. Eating one egg a day doesn't significantly raise your bad cholesterol, LDL for most people. In fact, eggs can actually be good for your heart. They're loaded with nutrients that boost HDL, your good cholesterol. HDL is like a cleanup crew. It sweeps excess cholesterol out of your bloodstream and carries it away, lowering your risk of heart disease and stroke. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that people who eat eggs regularly, about one a day, actually have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease compared to those who avoid them completely. That's right. Eggs aren't the enemy. They're an ally. They've got healthy fats, vitamins, and even a little protein that all work together to keep your heart humming along. I saw this play out with a patient of mine, a 66-year-old guy named Robert. Robert had high cholesterol and was terrified of eggs. He'd heard all the horror stories and hadn't touched one in years. But his numbers weren't improving. He was stuck, and he didn't know what to do. So I sat him down and said, let's try something. Add one egg a day to your diet, but pair it with some smart changes. Cut back on fried foods, eat more veggies. He was skeptical, but he trusted me enough to give it a shot. A few months later, Robert came back for a checkup, and his doctor couldn't believe it. His HDL was up, his LDL was down, and his overall heart health had stabilized. He told me he felt better too. More energy, less worry. It wasn't just the eggs, of course, it was the whole picture. But that one egg a day was a big part of it. So if you've been dodging eggs because of those old cholesterol fears, it's time to let that go. One egg a day isn't going to hurt your heart. It might just help it thrive. 4. Stronger bones. Prevent fractures and osteoporosis. Last but not least, let's talk about your bones. As we age, our bones take a hit. They get weaker, more brittle, and more prone to breaking. It's called osteoporosis, and it's a silent problem that can turn a simple stumble into a life-altering injury, like a fractured hip that keeps you off your feet for months. For older adults, bone health isn't just about comfort. It's about staying mobile and independent. Here's where eggs step in. They're one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, a nutrient that's absolutely critical for strong bones. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, the stuff that keeps your bones dense and tough. Without enough of it, all the calcium in the world won't do you much good. Eggs also have a little calcium themselves, but it's that vitamin D that makes them stand out. The problem is, a lot of older adults don't get enough vitamin D. Maybe you're not out in the sun as much as you used to be, or your body's not as good at making it from sunlight anymore. Either way, it's a gap that needs filling. One egg a day can help. It's not a massive dose, but it's a steady, reliable source that adds up over time. I worked with an 80-year-old woman named Ellen who learned this the hard way. She'd fallen and fractured her hip, a classic osteoporosis injury. Recovery was slow and painful, and she was terrified she'd never walk normally again. Along with her medical treatment, I suggested she add one egg a day to her diet, maybe hard-boiled as a snack or scrambled with breakfast. Over the next year, her bone density test started looking better. She healed faster than her doctors expected, and today she's back to walking her dog every morning, something she thought was gone for good. If you want to protect your bones, reduce your risk of fractures, and keep moving as you age, vitamin D is your friend. One egg a day is an easy, tasty way to get more of it. No pills, no fuss. All right, now that you're sold on the amazing benefits of eggs, let's hit the brakes for a second. Because here's the thing, not all eggs are safe or healthy. Some can actually hurt you, especially as you get older when your body's not as forgiving. I'm going to walk you through the 5 types of eggs you should never eat if you want to protect your health. Let's dive in. 1. Cracked eggs, a hidden danger in your fridge. First on the list, cracked eggs. You've probably done this before. Picked up an egg, noticed a little crack in the shell, and thought, it's not a big deal. I'll just use it quick. But here's the reality. A cracked egg is like a ticking time bomb for food poisoning. That shell is a natural barrier. It keeps out nasty bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli. Once it's broken, even if it's just a tiny crack, those germs can slip inside and start multiplying fast. For younger people with strong immune systems, that might not be a huge issue. But if you're over 60, your immune defenses aren't as tough as they used to be. A little foodborne illness can turn into a big problem. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, dehydration, even a trip to the hospital. So here's what you do. Check your eggs before you buy them. Look inside the carton at the store and make sure they're all intact. When you get home, handle them gently. Don't toss them around. And if you spot a cracked one in your fridge, don't cook it, don't eat it, just throw it out. It's not worth the risk. 2. Soft-boiled or undercooked eggs. A breakfast risk number 2. Soft-boiled or undercooked eggs. I get it. That runny yolk is delicious, whether it's dripping over toast or mixed into a ramen bowl. But if your egg isn't cooked to at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit, 71 degrees Celsius, dangerous bacteria like Salmonella can stick around. And for older adults, that's bad news. Even a mild case of food poisoning can knock you out with vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration, stuff that's harder to bounce back from as you age. The fix is simple. Cook your eggs all the way through. Hard-boiled, scrambled, fried until the yolk's firm, whatever you like, just make sure it's fully cooked. If you're dead set on that soft texture, look for pasteurized eggs at the store. They're heat-treated to kill bacteria, but still keep that creamy feel. Trust me, better safe than sorry. 3rd century eggs, a high-sodium hazard. Next up, century eggs, also called preserved eggs or thousand-year eggs. These are a traditional delicacy in some Asian cuisines. Think dark, jelly-like whites and greenish-black yolks. They're made by soaking eggs in a mix of clay, ash, salt, and alkaline stuff for weeks or months. They've got a unique flavor, sure, but they come with some serious downsides, especially for older adults. The big issue, sodium. Century eggs are insanely high in it because of all the salt used to cure them. Too much sodium jacks up your blood pressure, puts extra strain on your heart, and can even mess with your kidneys. All things you don't want to gamble with as you age. On top of that, some older recipes use lead oxide to speed up the process, which can leave traces of heavy metals. Even if they're labeled lead-free today, it's still a risk not worth taking. My advice? Skip these entirely. Stick to fresh eggs. They give you all the good stuff without the sodium overload or heavy metal worries. 4. Deep-fried eggs. Crispy but dangerous. Number 4. Deep-fried eggs. You might have seen these called tiger skin eggs. Golden, crispy, and oh so tasty. They're popular in some cuisines because of that crunchy texture. But here's the catch. Frying eggs in super hot oil creates harmful compounds like benzopyrene and heterocyclic amines. Those are linked to cancer, heart disease, and inflammation. Stuff your body doesn't need more of as you get older. Plus, all that oil adds a ton of trans fats and saturated fats, which can clog your arteries, raise your bad cholesterol, and up your risk of heart attacks or strokes. For seniors already dealing with heart concerns, that's like pouring gas on a fire. And don't forget the calories. Deep frying turns a light, healthy egg into a calorie bomb that can lead to weight gain and more health issues. Instead, try boiling, poaching, or scrambling your eggs. If you're craving that crispy vibe, use an air fryer. It's way healthier and still gives you that texture without the risks. 5. Fertilized eggs, a bacterial risk. Finally, fertilized eggs like balut. These are duck or chicken eggs with a partially developed embryo inside, incubated for days or weeks. They're a delicacy in places like Southeast Asia. and some swear they're packed with nutrients. But for older adults, they're a gamble not worth taking. Why? First, bacteria. The warm, humid conditions they're kept in are a perfect breeding ground for Salmonella and E. coli. If they're not handled or cooked just right, you're looking at food poisoning, nausea, vomiting, fever, the works. Second, digestibility. That embryo has bones, cartilage, and tissues that can be tough on an aging stomach, causing bloating, discomfort, or indigestion. And third, cholesterol. Balut has more fats than regular eggs, which could be a problem if you're watching your heart health. Stick to regular, fresh eggs instead. You'll get all the protein and nutrients you need without rolling the dice on your health. 2. A sharper mind. Keep your memory strong. Next up, let's talk about your brain. Because as we age, keeping our mind sharp is just as important as keeping our body strong. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you're there? Or maybe you've struggled to recall a name, a date, or where you left your keys. It happens to all of us at some point, but as we get older, those little brain hiccups can start to feel more serious. A sharp mind isn't just about convenience. It's about staying connected to the people and memories that matter most. Here's the good news. Eggs are one of the best foods you can eat to keep your brain firing on all cylinders. They're rich in a nutrient called choline, which is like rocket fuel for your brain. Choline helps your body produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that's crucial for memory, learning, and overall cognitive function. Studies from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health have shown that getting enough choline can lower your risk of cognitive decline and even help protect against dementia. That's a big deal when you think about how much we rely on our brains every single day. But that's not all. Eggs also bring omega-3 fatty acids to the table, which fight inflammation in your brain and help shield it from conditions like Alzheimer's disease. Inflammation is like rust on a car. If you let it build up, things start to break down. Omega-3s keep that rust at bay, giving your brain a fighting chance to stay healthy as you age. I'll never forget a 77-year-old patient of mine named Margaret. She came to me worried sick about her memory. She was forgetting to take her medications, missing appointments, and even struggling to recognize close family members at times. It was heartbreaking. She felt like she was losing herself, and her kids were scared too. We started small. I suggested she add 1 egg a day to her breakfast, maybe scrambled or poached, alongside some other brain-boosting foods like walnuts and salmon. It didn't happen overnight, but over a few months, Margaret's family started noticing a change. She wasn't forgetting as much. She'd remember where she put her glasses or what time her doctor's appointment was. One day, her daughter called me in tears, saying Margaret had told her a story from 20 years ago, with details she hadn't recalled in ages. It wasn't a cure, but it gave her back a piece of her life, and her family back a piece of her. The takeaway here: if you want to keep your mind sharp, your memory strong, and your brain healthy as you age, eggs are a no-brainer. Pun intended. 1 egg a day could be the simplest way to give your brain the support it needs. There you have it, folks. 1 egg a day could be your secret weapon for aging like a champ. It's a small, simple habit that can strengthen your muscles, sharpen your mind, protect your heart, and keep your bones solid. But it's not just about eating eggs, it's about eating the right ones. Avoid cracked eggs, undercooked eggs, century eggs, deep-fried eggs, and fertilized eggs like balut, and you'll dodge the risks that could trip you up. This isn't about complicated diets or big sacrifices. It's about making smart, easy choices that add up to a healthier, happier you. Whether you're scrambling an egg for breakfast or boiling one for a quick snack, you're investing in your future, one bite at a time. So what do you think? Are you ready to give 1 egg a day a shot? Which benefit excites you most? Stronger muscles, a sharper mind, a healthier heart, or tougher bones? And which cooking tip are you going to try first? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this video gave you something useful, hit that like button and share it with a friend or family member who could use a little health boost too. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more practical, life-changing tips coming your way, and I don't want you to miss a single one. Let's keep this going. Together, we can figure out how to age well, feel great, and live the life we want. One egg at a time, right? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.